Well, I think that I'm for direct democracy, but I think that the principle of a referendum, particularly in a context where, you know, three companies own such a huge percentage of our media, where we aren't getting transparent
Yeah.
information,
Yeah.
it kind of doesn't really work as a tool of democracy in the way that it was initially conceived of. So I think that it's not just the question of the mechanism of a referendum, but it's about the political context in which that referendum happens. So, for example, can you
Exactly.
put a promise that there's 350 million pounds that is going to go into the NHS on the side of a bus when you know darn well that that's not going to happen? You know, the whole political context in which these referenda are happening aren't conducive to them being actually exemplary of democracy. And I think was absolutely the wrong context, both in the sense that it was run on a largely xenophobic platform, and also the fact that it was done to try and save the Tories a couple of seats from going to UKIP. That's not a reason to run a referendum that is going to fundamentally change the course of
But you're
British
you're
history.
not opposed to the principle of staging referendums.
No, I mean, it obviously depends. I think the referendum on abortion in Ireland, for example,
Hmm.
that was run in a more effective way. I think that it depends what the issue is and it depends on the context. And I think that the context of this one was transparently, you know, David Cameron putting his party and putting his leadership over the good of the country. And I also think that a lot of the issues that were ignited around Brexit, around questions of people not feeling democratically engaged, people not feeling in control of their own destiny and their own kind of communities, people feeling, the weight of austerity. A lot of those things surfaced in the Brexit conversation, but in the EU referendum, but are not actually solvable by leaving the EU.